Hello, whiskey folk. It's Roy. 11:30. Half an hour left of World Whisky Day here.
Hello, whiskey folk.
And I've left my whiskey folk YouTube on. I need to just
11.
mute all of
Half an
this.
hour left.
Crap. Sorry. More technical difficulties. There was a huge disaster that happened in the switchover between Whiskey Jason and Mark at Whiskey Whistle, of course. We don't know what happened there, but it seems like Mark dropped into Vin's. Vin picked up the live slot and did a half hour, managed to get Max in from Whiskey Bloke, and they had a little chat together, and then Mark dropped in at the end, and obviously he has had a technical meltdown. It seems like he lost his PC and couldn't go live in the end. It's a disaster for him. I'm really feeling it for him, but there he's in Vin's channel full of smiles and things, which is just typical of the gentleman that Mark is. Anyway, welcome here. You're with me now through until Scotch Test Dummies at 1 o'clock in the morning. So there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that there's only half an hour left of World Whisky Day here. And if you're in Europe, actually, it's already passed. The good news is that doesn't really matter. We're going to just keep going on and on through the night and enjoying World Whisky Day with our American friends and anybody who's further west than us. It's still very much World Whisky Day for them. And we're just going to keep this thing going. Now, I've been shuffling around here trying to work out different things, and so I'm in a wee bit of a mess. I'm not as organised as I could have been. So I'm just going to try and pop up your chat, do a bit of a roll call, and just kind of go through what we're going to enjoy tonight, who's going to be coming in and joining me, and what we're going to be getting up to. So if I go and bring up the chat and find all you guys. Fantastic for hopping along. I've seen that the live streams tonight has a really good turnout. Lots of people joining in. It's fantastic. Exactly what we wanted to do. We want to just keep building that momentum and keep kind of carrying it forward and seeing how long we can actually take this thing, how long we can go with it. Okay, I have the chat up now. Fantastic. Now there's loads and loads of you in. We're over 70 already in the first few minutes, and the list of participants is massive. So I can't really it's not really appropriate to do a roll call tonight. I can see everybody that's in here. So many familiar faces and names, a few new names as well. It's great to see that you've all tuned in, and it's just great to have that comfort of seeing so many kind of familiar faces, for want of a better word. Joining me tonight, I've got my co-host, and I'll ask him to come in and introduce himself. Co-host, are you available to join in? Let me see if you can unmute and come in and say hello.
Am I in, Roy?
You're in. I think you're in. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear, buddy. I hope the rest of the people can as well. Let me just check.
I was to bring in Mr. Bananas, and I've got him right here.
Superb. It's Go Habs. It's been asking. I bet you it's Go Habs.
I know he's been on all the chat so far. I think Go Habs, I got to sort you out some sort of little gift for asking about Mr. Bananas. I think in every single stream, Whiskey Jason stream, your opening stream, and even just now there, even on Mark's separate stream and Vin's, he kept asking about Mr. Bananas. Will he get his own private hour? And that, I think that deserves something.
You know what?
Keep Mr. Bananas over there.
The giveaway needs to be tonight, Jason, is a signed picture of Mr. Bananas to go Habs. I think that should.
I think I've got a great picture, actually, a picture with Mr. Bananas and Monkey Shoulder, which is his favorite whiskey. I think that might be something that I should work on, actually. That would be a good idea. Go Habs, let me know if you're interested in that. That'll be something I'm working on. But yeah, so for those of you guys who don't know me, I think I'll start the introduction. My name is Jason. I run a YouTube channel called JasonWhiskyWise. And we do whiskey reviews, I think, all over the place. I've got whiskey reviews for travel retail, which is what I started the channel originally. Actually, I was inspired by the Scotch Test Dummies and also Mark from the Whiskey Whistle. And that's what then pushed me into pursuing this, because I saw that there was not really that many travel retail reviews. So then I just started buying loads of bottles and really got the passion for it. And it's something that now has developed further and further. And Mr. Bananas over here, he joined me back, I believe, in November in the Monkey Shoulder review. I believe it was review number 91. And since then, I let you guys choose his name, and he has stuck with us here on the channel, which has been absolutely fantastic. He actually does drink a lot of whiskey, and I think I might need to sort of share with everyone what I'm actually drinking tonight. But Roy, do you want to give a quick shout to Keith, and also I think just you want to give a shout out to Keith?
I was waiting on you. I didn't want to interrupt you. My friend Swami is pulling some flattery with me, calling me a classy man and buying me a virtual dram. Thank you very much, Swami. You're a gentleman. Superb. Swami's show is coming up later on in the night as well, and Swami and Erik Wait are getting together. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe I'll still be awake for it. Malted Man Cave has also bought me a dram as well. Thank you very much, Keith. And of course, you are up later tonight as well. Superb. And my friend Hoyt Hemphill has also bought me a dram and saying thanks for keeping things going. Well, that's the intention, Hoyt. Jason, just before I go on and carry on with some of these things, tell us what you're drinking tonight. What are you sipping?
All right, so tonight I've actually got a lot of variety of whiskies. I thought as it's World Whisky Day, I would take everyone around the world. So to start off, I've got something which is local, which is from Scotland, from Glenmurray. It is a Masala cask, and this is something I picked up from the distillery. And earlier today, I was lucky enough here in London to meet the master distiller, Graham Cole, at Milroy's. He actually came for a dram, and we had a little chat, but I wanted to quickly leave because I want to make sure I was here for the live stream. Next up, then, I've got something from Ireland, but it's a very unusual dram. It's the Glendalough Mizunara cask, which is a 13-year-old. I want to say massive thank you. Yeah, Mizunara.
Mizunara cask.
So Mizunara is a Japanese oak, and it's something that's very difficult and very expensive for distilleries to get their hands on. And this is because it is very porous. It's almost like a sponge. And when you put your whiskey in there, a lot of these casks end up leaking and breaking. So it does cost companies a lot of money. But the unique character, and I'm going to be covering this here on the channel about this one, and also the Chivas Mizunara. So two Mizunara whiskies, which I've just been getting into a bit of a Mizunara phrase. And Roy, if you want, I'm going to send you a bit of these as well, because I don't know if you've tried Mizunara before, but it is something worth an experience. But I want to say a massive thank you to Jez, because he actually supplied me with this, and I actually went and bought a bottle afterward because it is just brilliant. Yeah, so that's just three of the whiskies that I've got on this long flight. I've then got something from Taiwan, which is Kavalan. Many of you guys will know that I'm a big fan of the Taiwanese whiskies, and Kavalan has been something that's been a bit of a soft spot, and I think this year I'm actually going to head back to Taiwan. To go to America this time, we're going to go to WL Weller, and I bought the Weller 12, and this is how much is left. I think I should do a review at some point, but...
How long do you think we're going to be on for? Is that 5-6 grams that you've picked up there?
I've got so many. I told everyone in the chat today, I've been doing like 7-8 flights today.
Pour one of your Mizunaras, okay?
And then we've got Deanston.
And you've got a Deanston. Is that the Bordeaux as well?
Yeah, that's gorgeous stuff.
Fantastic. Okay, tell us what you're pouring, and I'll go on with the rest of the...
So first up, I'm going to pour the Glendalough Mizunara, because just that character to start the night off, it's something very unusual and very unique. It's amalgamation between the Japanese and the Irish craft way of producing whiskey and the cask type. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be pouring first. So I'll get to that, Roy. I'll let you take over, and I'm going to get back to some chat. So
superb.
I'll pour this.
I'll let you know as well is that Jason is going to be doing... Jason often joins me and runs Shotgun for me. He's a fantastic host, looking after the chat. So if you need to get things through, direct it to Jason, and he'll be coming in and out as we go through the show. Let's see what else we've got happening. Tonight, I'm obviously going to keep things running through until 1 o'clock and then pass over to the Scotch Test Dummies. Looking forward to their show as well. There will be a quiz tonight, and there will be giveaways tonight. How I'm going to work the giveaways is I'm just going to randomly go into the chat and pick a comment, probably the comment that's most recent. And I'm just going to say, okay, I will, if you want this sample, I'm going to take a sticker, I'm going to put your name on it, and you let me know what you would like. There's a bunch of stuff over my shoulder that I'll be picking up and bringing up through the show, but I have here lots of stuff that's pretty tricky to get a hold of, so it's not just kind of generic stuff. I'm talking about Long Row Red, this year's Long Row Red, the 2018 release, which is the Cabernet Franc version. I'm talking about Springbank Cask Strength, the 12-year-old 2018 version. Deanston Decenary, I finally cracked this week, and it's an absolutely fantastic dram. Just to let you know what they've got in this, they've got a 2006 Pedro Jimenez cask, a 1996 Port Pipe, a 1982 American Oak Barrel, and a 1977 Refill Barrel. Okay, so that's the Decenary, is 4 decades of casking that they have released just recently at Deanston, and it's a fantastic, fantastic whiskey. So I'm going to start that now. I'm going to reach into the comments and go Habs, starting the night with the first Scotch I ever had. There you go Habs. If you want to claim this sample that I'm going to pour for you, you tell me what sample you would like, I'm going to write Go Habs on here. And what I will also send across to you is this sample, and perhaps maybe something like a sample from my Solera bottle, my Infinity bottle as well, just for fun. Now, if you live in a country or a territory where it's illegal for me to send you alcohol, don't worry about it. We will work something out. We'll be able to get something else to you that makes it worth your while. Don't worry about it. Now, at the same time, what I'm also going to do is say thank you to my patrons, because the support I've had from my patrons is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to do a Scotch Test Dummies thing. I've got a list of my patrons here, and they are ordered from 1 through 40, depending on where they joined me. So the first patron through to the most recent patron. And I'll ask Siri to call it a random number, and I will then take that same name and I'll put it on another sample bottle, and my patrons will then be able to choose from the collection as well. So, hey Siri, give me a random number between 0 and 40. 24. So patron number 24 is Blissful Mr. D. I haven't seen you in the chat yet, Blissful Mr. D, but I know that you join regularly. So if you are around, it doesn't need to be in during the live chat, it can be afterwards. All you need to do, same as Go Habs, if you send me an email to whisky@aqvavitae.com and give me a shipping address, same for you as well. If you're somewhere that I can't ship to legally, and we'll work something else out. That's the first 2 giveaways done, and I'll be doing that throughout the night as well, just to share the whiskey. It's all about sharing whiskey, and this is as good a way as I could think as any. Fantastic. Now, there will be a quick fire quiz a wee bit later on as well. Not the same Aqvavitae quiz format that gives, oh, I've had some super chats in that I've missed. Oh, thank you so much. At Vin at Nonsense Whisky, thank you, Vin. Superb. Thanks for that virtual dram. I'm hoping that we can get together quite soon, buddy. It's about time we sorted something out. And Daniel over in Canada saying thank you, Roy, as well. And Vin has said, Roy and Jason, you're both true gents. Well done for a fantastic set of streams. Fantastic. And Daniel said thank you as well. Thank you very much for the drams, guys. I'm looking forward to your stream as well, early hours of the morning, all the way from Moose Jaw in Saskatchewan, Daniel. Superb. Okay, so there will be a quiz tonight, but it's not the kind of quiz that keeps Swami awake. It's a fun quiz. It's multiple choice. Everybody participates in the quiz. You all answer. You keep your own scores. Obviously, we're able to verify it with the live chat afterwards. And we'll run through. So theoretically, a monkey, a chimpanzee could win this quiz tonight. Mr. Bananas could play this quiz and win it tonight, okay? I'm just going to switch over. I've got a guest I want to bring in quickly. I'm just going to reach out to the community. I don't have a guest tonight. Jason and I are not guesting. We're just kind of going to co-host this. And I'm reaching out to you guys. I'm reaching out to people that are out and around over the world. So let's see who we've got that can come in and join us. We have, waiting in the wings, we have my friend who's in one of the most, I'm so jealous of where this guy is right now. He's doing a bit of an apprenticeship over there just now. He's working at the Foodquig distillery out in the Caribbean, and he's probably having a fantastic time. But I want him to come in, tell us about it, tell us what he's drinking, and raise a glass during World Whisky Day. Unmute yourself, Connor, and come in and say hello. If you're there, of course. It looks like you're there. If you unmute, it should work, buddy. Connor?
Yeah, it's me. I should be coming in 1 second. You hear me?
Yeah. Have I surprised you?
All right. Give me 1 second.
No problem. While you're doing that, I'm going to pour something. Now, it's International Whisky Day, or World Whisky Day, sorry. So I'm going to pour something that is not Scotch, just to celebrate that. And I'm pouring an American whiskey, Mellowcorn. Now, this is a different whiskey. It's really different, but I have actually grown to really quite like this. It's, I don't know, Connor would probably be able to tell me what constitutes a straight corn whiskey, but I think it's something like 80%, 81% plus corn. I've just had a virtual dram in from Doug Chrysope. And he's bought me practically a bottle. He's saying Happy World Whisky Day. Doug, I think that's a new name as well. What a wonderful donation. What a wonderful way to support the channel. Thank you so much for that, Doug. And yeah, I'm blown away by that. That's superb. Happy World Whisky Day to you as well, Doug. Thank you so much.
Am I back again?
Now you're
Sorry.
here. I can see you, buddy. I can see you.
Hey. Yeah, I was in the still room, and the Wi-Fi apparently doesn't go that far. I've come into like the main hall. You got some.
You're actually on
behind me.
Foursquare.
Yeah, because this was sort of impromptu, so I don't want to leave it as a surprise for you. I thought I'd pop up quickly.
So how long have you been there now?
For the last 35 minutes.
No, I mean in terms of working there.
Sorry, do you mean actually in
Yeah.
Barbados? 5 weeks.
Superb. And when are you coming back home?
I've got 2.5 weeks. I'm coming back right at the end of June, 31st.
Okay. And it's probably going to be over all too soon for you, right?
I'm looking forward to getting back. I've got, mainly for whiskey reasons, I've got a lot of whiskey that I've picked up whilst here, but I'm looking forward to drinking. I believe now all the mash tuns has just gone on, so it's quite loud. I'll go back to the lab where I was.
We can just about hear you, buddy. We can just about hear you. And I know that you've just recently ordered a bunch of new spring banks. You've ordered the Hazelburn 13 and the I think you've ordered the 21 as well. You're lucky yet. Can you hear me still?
Some of the this is the sort of bottling
Wow.
assemblies. We've got, that's where some of the barrels are, and you've got down there, you won't be able to see it, there's loads of barrels, and there's also a bit main warehouses. Then we've got, those are some of the mash, those are sort of the wash backs, so the fermentation backs. They're
Wow.
just filling one now, which is why it's so loud. And then we've got, the still room is sort of down in that direction.
Superb, superb. Can you tell me anything about what you're going to be doing when you come home, or is that still under wraps?
I'm still under wraps, more the fact that I'm not 100% sure, but I'm currently on, I've got a lead of something, but
Okay,
I
good.
can't say yet because it's just like a speculative thing. I'm talking to a company at the moment, which hopefully will be good if it pans out.
Tell me then, if you're at work just now, does that mean that you're not actually dramming?
I'm not actually at work, I've just popped in.
So what do you have in your hand there?
I have, because as it's called Whisky Day, I felt like I couldn't not have whiskey, so I just bought a bottle in for this. I have the Oxmoor 8.2.
Fantastic. And how's it going down?
Lovely. With a bit of water, changes completely. So much better, I think.
Yes,
And
yeah.
it's sort of aired out over the next 20 minutes, and it's improving already.
Superb. Absolutely superb. And is that, tell me, that Octomore, is that an airport exclusive then?
Yeah, so I knew I didn't want to bring anything out with me in my bag. I could have done that. I was like, I may as well try an airport thing. Tried a couple in there. It was between that and another exclusive. I can't remember what it was. I had a little try at 6 in the morning, which isn't the best time to try whiskey. Your palate's not great. But I already had in my head that this is what I wanted, so I just went for it. So I want something as different as possible. I wanted to go Isla, because if I'm having rum most of the time, I want something really different. I don't want a light fruity whiskey. I want big, rich smoke. And so because with it's got a lot of, I think it's different wine casks, like some sweet, and then one, I think it's like a dessert wine, and then a light red. I think they've been recasting to Amarone for 2 years. It's 8 years old, this one.
Yeah, I mean, the casting, they get quite creative with the Octomore, certainly. But what I find is that, you know, the big kind of, you know, the ppm that they have on the tin, obviously they use a bit of artistic license with that at Octomore.
Yeah, well, it's kind of bollocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ppm of the barley they're measuring rather than what's in the bottle, right? But it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a story. But what I always find when I'm sipping Octomore is that it's you get far more peach from a regular Ardbeg, peat from a regular Ardbeg or Lafroig. I find some of the Octomores that I've tried recently actually quite soft.
Yeah, it's because it's obviously they get all their barley from beds in Inverness, so it's mainland peat, so it's nowhere near as pungent as anything from the Port Ellen maltings, because it doesn't have all the seaweed and phenols in it. So Ardbeg and Freud are always stronger for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree fully. So when you come back, Connor, are you? Well, tell me, are you going to be joining in the quiz tonight?
Yeah, I should be. Annoyingly, I forgot the Wi-Fi password, so I can't get on my iPad. It's a lot easier to follow along, but I'll probably have to drop out the Hangouts once I'm done with this. I'm not needed for your Hangout call, so I'll just get on my phone and do it through that. So otherwise, I can cheat and do it on the Hangouts and be like 20 seconds ahead of everyone, which would be a bit unfair.
Well, just to let everybody know, Connor Strang was the first guy to score 10 out of 10 on the quiz. And since I think it's been done, did Hoagie get 10 out of 10? And I think someone else got a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Hoagie got 10 out of 10. And so, was it when he beat me as well? And he got 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And I think what we did in the last time we did the quiz is we cranked the questions up, we made it quite tricky. But that's not what's happening tonight. It's a multiple choice tonight, so even the tricky questions, you've got a 33% chance of scoring. So stay with us, Connor, and participate in the quiz. When you get back home, and I know that you're talking about travelling up to Scotland, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to hook up that time, but if there's any other time, then we'll certainly hook up. And let us know when you get back and see what you're all about and see if we can catch up with you and work out what you've been doing. But I'll raise a glass of Mellowcorn against your Octomore, and I'll wish you a very happy Whisky Day, my friend.
Cheers.
Enjoy the rest of your time out in the Caribbean, you lucky bugger. Sláinte, buddy. Take care.
Sláinte.
That's friend of the channel and all-round uber passionate and super whiskey geek Connor Strang. Quite a fantastic guy to talk to about whiskey. His knowledge is very, very impressive, and clearly he's pursuing his dream. He's pursuing his dream career. He's out there working at a distillery, albeit a rum distillery right now, and he's got desires to take that experience and get into whiskey distilling when he's back in Scotland. Tom, that's a good question you're asking me. Is that Mountain Dew in my glass? I can't get this camera to do anything. I can't get it to show an amber colour. It's the way. Look at the colour of the mellow green as well. I mean, we know that's a yellow label that's on this, but it's clearly lime green. And it's just the camera that I'm working with just now. It's the webcam. You just have to deal with it. I promise you, it's not Mountain Dew. It's regular whiskey. One of these days, I'm going to take a little Instagram picture or something and take a picture of these two together just to show you how the difference is. Apologies, Tom, but no, it's a very sweet and very clean corn whiskey. I mean, it's not brilliant. It's not a brilliant whiskey, but it's fine. Okay, Jason, anything happening at your side? Sorry to interrupt you mid-sip there.
Sorry, yeah, I was having a sip. I was just checking the chat through. Everyone was just talking about how the glass looked very green. Yeah, it was kind of matching your plant in the back. But minus that, yeah, everyone just sort of talking in between in the chat. We're talking about a few different bits. Connor, congratulations as well onto your future if distilling. Because I'm looking forward to actually Connor when he comes back to London. We're probably going to meet up, I think, in 2 weeks' time.
Good. So can I just take that opportunity then to give a plug? Our friend Jez asked me to mention this tonight, and I knew that you would probably take the opportunity as well. But you and Jez have joined up together to start a London Whisky Club, and if anybody is in the area and interested in getting together with like-minded folk, Jez and Jason, you have to email at londonwhiskyclub@gmail.com, Jez tells me.
Yes, yeah. So what we're starting up is kind of like it's a whiskey club where just people can join, have fun, bottle share. If you've got bottles, like if I've got, say, for example, a bottle, if I had a full bottle of this, I just share it with someone, because that way we share what our appreciation for whiskey and same time our knowledge, but at the same time we want to share the product with people. Because for me, like many people know here on my channel, I'm pretty much the only person that drinks in my household. So like stuff like this, I would probably drink only that much, and then that's about it. So it's just something to share with people. And I've got into contact with a few different places in London which will actually be allowing us to host our little events where we can have people to meet up and just enjoy and have a dram with one another. So yeah, I think it's London Whisky Club, which we've got all around.
Superb. I wish you the very, very best of that. So londonwhiskyclub@gmail.com if you want to get together with Jez, Jason, Connor Strang, bunch of other guys when that is, and I think it's already started happening now. Sean Nemo has just given me a virtual dram. Sean, you're not only a patron, but you're also buying me virtual drams during live streams as well. You're a fantastic guy. Thank you very much. And he's saying new camera fund. Now, I noticed somebody else mentioned a Whiskey Biker is saying, colour-wise, are you sure it's not the lighting? LEDs or energy-saving lights have that effect. I've actually got daylight photography lights in here for that, so it's not the lighting. I'll show you something here. And then somebody else said it looks like Roy has got a tan. Let me show you. I'm going to just adjust the colour, and I'll show you what happens if I make myself pink, red. This whiskey doesn't go whiskey colour. Look how red I'm getting. Look, okay, I'm sunburnt now. Oh, it's starting to get whiskey coloured now, perhaps. It's still green. Let's have a look at the Mountain Dew bottle. Oh, sorry, the Mellocorn Mountain Dew in the head now. Mellocorn bottle is still all wrong, but it's a bit more. But I guarantee you, while I'm pink, I am not as pink as this. Hello, this is the colour I tan when I go to Spain. So let's bring that down to a kind of more neutral. There we go, we'll try that. Anyway, thank you very much for that new camera fund donation. Sean, thank you very much. Superb. Time for another giveaway. I'm going to look. Whiskey Scout. Okay, Whiskey Scout, I've just plucked you out the chat. He's saying, I guess I need to put out a review on the Mellocorn. Have you not reviewed the Mellocorn? I mean, I don't think it's one of these whiskies that blows anyone's world apart, but I think it's a good example, or it's a good education whiskey, I would say. Okay, Whiskey Scout, I'm going to put your name on this, and I'm going to say, hey Siri, choose a random number between 0 and 40.
Between 0 and 40 is 15.
15. Okay, let's see who's patron number 15, and we can pluck their name and put it on a bottle for a giveaway. Rolf Isaacson, that is Whiskey Wolf. Rolf, I'm going to take a sticker. I'm going to write down here, Rolf. By the way, this is for all patrons, anybody who who's been supporting the channel. It's just a kind of fun giveaway to add a bit of buzz and share the whiskey. Rolf, you'll be able to choose anything. Any of the open bottles that I've featured on a live recently, any of the open bottles that I've featured in videos or whatever, you can choose pretty much anything, and it'll go in this sample bottle. And I know I can ship it to you because you are in Europe. And I think, Rolf, you're actually in the chat tonight. I thought I saw you a wee bit earlier. Okay, good. Fantastic. Okay, let's see if we have we've got anything from our other guest. We did have another guy that was going to drop in quickly because I'm aware that we need to try and. I think I am on. Nope. Can't see you. Send. Okay, superb. But we do have another guest sitting waiting in the wings as well, but I was going to keep him till a wee bit later because the guy who's trying to get in just now wants to go out a wee bit earlier. And I'm just trying to reach out to people on World Whisky Day. People, the fantastic thing about this is everybody tuning in from all over the place. It's superb. It's, you know, you get people from Asia, you get people from all over Europe, people from the Americas, people from the Southern Hemisphere, people from Argentina and New Zealand and Australia. It's fantastic. And it just, I wanted to reach out to those guys, bring you in and just, hey, tell me what you're drinking. Tell me why you're drinking that and tell me where in the world are you? How is it where you are? How are you celebrating Whiskey World Day? And I'm going to follow this up with either I've got an Amroot, I've also got a whiskey that was featured on the Whiskey Jason chat. It was a fantastic chat with Malted Man Cave and Paul from Malt Mondays. I've got the Louisville Barton Green Spot here, which I've featured before. I've got a Spanish single malt. This was €11 for a 10-year-old single malt. Now, I can't tell you much about it because they're obviously under a slightly different... There's someone coming in here. I just need to mute them. For a 10-year-old single malt. No, I can't tell you much about it because they're obviously under a slightly different... I think I've managed to mute them. No. Okay. I'm going to try and just bring you in just now.
Okay.
Andrew.
How are you, Roy?
I'm very, very well. I'm very, very well. I'm holding up a Spanish single malt here, and I am unfortunately not able to produce an Australian single malt. Tell us who you are and tell us why I can't get my hands on Australian or any kind of Australasia, Tasmania, or otherwise single malt.
Okay, I'm Andrew. I'm also known on Instagram as Day Dramming. And I guess the reason why you can't find a lot of Australian whiskies is that we don't produce a hell of a lot. We really only have 2 commercial operations, or 2 that I would call a commercial operation, that being Hellier's Road in Tasmania and Starwood in Victoria. They're probably the 2 that you do see, if at all, in your liquor, beer, wine, spirit type retail outlets. I've got 2 in front of me. These are 2 South Australian single malt whiskies, which is where I'm from. Yep. This is the Iniquity, and this is Fluorio, which is on outside of Adelaide on the sort of southern coastline. These are both non-chill filtered. They are both natural colour. This one is bottled at 46%, and this one is actually at 55%. But to give you some sort of idea, this is only one of 600 bottles. And Roy, when you and I discuss how Springbank produced 9,000 bottles worldwide, and we talk about how that's not a great number, by Australian standards, that's obviously an enormous number, and we have very small outruns.
Yeah, I understand. And I mean, I think that the Japanese market has gone crazy, and Japanese whiskey is very, very expensive, but Japan is still capable of not only producing in large volumes and still charging reasonably high money for it, but Japan also buy in a lot of whiskey as well and resell it, a lot of Scotch and things. But in Australia, that's not happening. You guys are pretty, every distillery down there is like craft scale, right?
Exactly, yes. I mean, there's close to 14 distilleries in Tasmania now. There's really only 2 in South Australia. There's Lime Burners in Western Australia, which I wholly recommend if you actually see one. And then you've got Starwood and Bakery Hill and a few others in Victoria. So, but yeah, you're right. They all start from scratch and they're all quite unique. Iniquity, local barley, local peat, which they get from a place called Parawa. And then they smoke it with mallee root stumps, which gives it a rather Weet-Bixy type taste. I don't know if you have Weet-Bix or something similar in the UK, but it produces a rather unique cereal profile.
Yeah. We have Weet-Bix. Weet-Bix is I think it seems like it must be the same thing. Well, I don't have
similar type thing.
I've decided I'm going to pour one of these, which is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is 69.7%. I don't know which batch this would be from, but I think I've had this since last year. This was gifted to me by fantastic friends of mine, and it's absolutely wonderful. And it's one of those drams that you really don't need to pour very much of it because it's just such a powerful, powerful prospect. So what are you sipping, Andrew?
I've actually poured, coin 413 by the way, poured part of this batch 6 Iniquity. It's
coin number what?
Mine's 413.
Okay, 181. Superb. We are
so it's currently 8:35 in the morning, so it's a bit early, but you know it's malted barley, so it's practically breakfast cereal, really. So why not? So and if we're having an Australian dram, we're drinking it out of an Australian glass. This is the Cradle glass, which are loosely connected to Cradle Mountain Whisky down in Tasmania. So, sláinte.
Sláinte, Andrew. Fantastic to see you enjoying a dram with you in the flesh.
Yeah, usually it's a bit earlier, 5:45, 6:15 in the morning when you're online, so I definitely can't start that early. 8:30, it's over the yard somewhere.
Let me take the opportunity now that I'm speaking to you like this to say thank you very much, because the amount of times that you do actually participate in the lives, it's the majority of the time. And I do kind of call out and say, I know that you're in Australia, thanks for joining. Just the fact that you get up that early in the day is just wonderful. It's fantastic. And I just want to shout out as well that you've got a fantastic Instagram feed. You're using it as a kind of mini blog, mini review site. You do quite in-depth notes and things on there. It's fantastic to read. And we're very, very aligned, you and I, in terms of what we like and enjoy in whiskey, I think. Yes,
very much so. You certainly got me onto Deanston. It's not a particularly easy thing to get in this country. That's part of the problem. But I've managed to work it out. So we've got the Deanston fix sorted now, I think.
Well, there's one Deanston that you won't be able to get your hands on, and it's a shame because it's absolutely sublime. It's the distillery. This is distillery only. I think you can buy it from their online shop. I don't think you actually need to go to the distillery. I think they'll probably sell it to you from their online store. But the only place you can buy the distillery is actually through Deanston or at Deanston, and it was really, really fantastic. I kept this sealed for quite a while, but I was recently up.
I noticed.
Yeah, I was recently up at Deanston, and they just gave me a little sample of it, and wow, I came home and eventually said I just need to open this, and of course open it and share it. You know, I've already poured a couple of samples and shared it out with a couple of folk, and I hope that to get their feedback as well. I hope they enjoy it as much as I do. I just want to shout out to Alan Wilson quickly, saying great show, Roy, and he's bought me another virtual dram. Alan Wilson, you're a stalwart. You're always here. You're always contributing and commenting, and I thank you very, very much. It's nice to have you around. While there's so many of you in right now, if you are enjoying your time here, and all the way, not just this show, but all the way through the night, please remember how much it helps us to go down into that little area underneath the video and hit that thumbs up button. Of course, if you don't like the content, hit the thumbs down button. But if you do that, please tell us why, give us feedback. Don't just hit the thumbs down and go in a huff. Just give everybody that's staying up all the way through the night tonight and doing these streams, just give them your love and little thumbs up. It really does help us all out. Andrew, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining. And
no problem at all.
Ask you to just tell us where we can find you. Surely not just on Instagram?
Pretty much just Instagram. I've closed, well, haven't closed it. The rest is a bit silent. But I think at this point, if you find me at day_dramming, or you follow the hashtag the Whiskey Lion, which is in reference to my Sharpei, actually, who seems to very much enjoy the smell of whiskey. Sharpeis are often known as Chinese lions, hence the little tag. So if you look for either of those, you will find me and my reviews. I try and keep my reviews to the more affordable bottles rather than the unicorn bottles, because I've always thought that the more people that are exposed to whiskey, the better. And exposure to whiskey comes from the regular bottles, not the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 bottles.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's a very good way of doing it. And I mean, it's nice to vicariously try these unicorn bottles through somebody else that's reviewing them. But I think there's a lot to be said for evangelizing about whiskey that people can actually participate in with you, right? Yeah,
it's all about the engagement these days. If I want to try something, old and rare, I'll find one of my local bars that do a break even bottle and sell you a shot at cost price.
And that explains what you've just explained about the Whiskey Line. That explains your logo as well.
It does.
Yeah,
it does indeed.
Buddy, I hope you're probably the least likely guy for me to be able to, shake your hand and actually have a real dram with you. But you never know. If I ever make it,
never. Well, if you're ever in the country, by all means, look me up and let me know, and we'll go out for a dram. And look, I do plan to go back to Scotland. My grandparents are originally from there, so it's not out of the realms of possibility in the next year or two.
Okay, that's all I ask, is that if you do make the trip, you let me know about it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely,
having you, Andrew. I love having you participate all the time. It's great to read your comments and your feed on Instagram as well. And I hope that some of these guys that are on Instagram and using Instagram go off and find you there. It's good stuff. Thank you very much. And until next time, Sláinte mhath.
Sláinte.
Superb. Okay, I'm going to look into the chat. And Telex, the Whiskey Tech, he said, I will give it several noses for another 15 then. Thanks. Don't know what you're talking about, Telex, but you're just about to get your name put on one of my sample bottles. So, oh, I've just had a message through from my wife to say that there's a patron joined. So that means that there's another name has to go into the... so let's put Telex on this bottle. And Telex, that means that you get to dip into my collection and choose whatever you like, my friend, whatever you like. I know that you're in the States, but I have a plan for that. Don't worry about it. Tell me what you would like, and I'm now going to ask, hey Siri, give me a random number between 0 and 41.
0. 1 is 5.
5. 5. Superb. So let's pick a name from my patrons quickly as well. Patron number 5, that was way early, is Amy Woody. Fantastic Amy, which is Amy's husband's wife, Amy. So Amy, fantastic. Superb to be able to put your name on a bottle. And if you want to claim this, Amy, you know how to get in touch with me. Just let me know what it is, and we can work it out. I'll give you a wee, maybe drop you an email with a wee selection of things that I think it may be tricky for you to get a hold of, and you can let me know. So let's go back to Jason quickly. Jason, everything okay with you?
Yeah, I just dropped out just recently. I don't know, just the internet cut out a little bit, but still here right now. I'm actually sipping on a Deanston because you showed me the distillery, and I actually just checked out in the meantime. I checked out what was the price of the distillery, and it was, I think it was £110, which is an absolute steal. Paid 50, I think it was £46 for this bottle over here of Deanston Bordeaux. And that's one that I'm just, I love this one so much. Deanston, for those of you guys, and also I want to give a quick shout to the Malt, which is Jason, who's another Jason actually in our whiskey community. I got to meet him this week and sit for one of his tastings here in London. And we're talking about Tomor and even Deanston, as
I want to
really enjoy.
Well, he's one of the many Jasons in whiskey, but he's writing fantastic stuff and fantastic, completely unbiased editorial content. Malt-review.com, fantastic content, a massive range of whiskies, cheap stuff, international stuff, difficult to find stuff, independent bottles, regular official bottlings. I mean, they just cover absolutely everything. They do a great job at that website. And he's also bought me a virtual dram. What a fantastic guy. And also I've had Mikey Hay, my friend Mikey, saying well done on organising such a great night, Roy, and he's bought me a virtual dram as well. I think you've bought me a double there, Michael. Thank you very much. What I will say is about the organising this thing is I just put the suggestion out there, okay? This is a team thing. All the channels have got together to do this. And it's just a fantastic thing to be able to do. You would think that all of these channels are competing against each other, that we're all kind of putting out content and we're vying for the same audience, but it's not the case at all. Whiskey just dissolves that and just breaks it down, because whiskey is bringing people together, and we are so passionate about it. We love it so much, and we enjoy sharing the whiskey and collaborating and sharing the space. It's a fantastic time to be into whiskey. Would you agree, Jace?
Completely, yeah. Sorry, I'm just keep muting myself because I keep just going back to this one on the nose. Deanston's been one of those whiskies at the minute. I've actually sat yesterday, believe it or not, with the 12, the 18, the Virgin Oak, and the Bordeaux, and I'm hoping to get the Distillery. And actually, Rob from Whiskey in the Six, he was telling me about the 20-year-old they've got there, which is a PX. And that one for me, I was just like, I want to try that. So I've just been really sitting with these ones right now and trying to sort of just explore Deanston, and it's got such a great character. There is one note which I'll actually mention when I do my videos next week, but also I want to mention also, Roy, as everyone's been fantastic here tonight, I want to say also thank you to everyone. At the same time, I'm probably going to do a giveaway at some point mid this week. I'll do sign Mr. Banana posters and definitely get him to sign those and send those out. He's paying for postage, just so you know. But I'm also planning to do like little drams. Now, many of you guys know when I go to distilleries, I pick up bottles like this, and master distillers and them lot sign it. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to send these out to everyone as well. And that's something.
The stuff that people can't normally buy. If you get the opportunity to share that stuff, it's even more precious, right?
And that's exactly, so I was reading a comment. That's actually one thing I wanted to refer to. Someone said to me, they want to know exactly what's happening at distilleries. And because I have access sometimes when I travel up to Scotland, and I always want to see if I can meet Roy at any opportunity, we try to catch up. But I'm going to start doing that. So for those of you guys, I've got actually a few things planned in the upcoming weeks on my channel. I'm going to start sending out stuff to people. Even if you're in the States, I'm going to work something out. I'm actually traveling to the States in 2 months' time, so I'll bring a lot of samples with me, leave it with my family, and tell them to post it out at certain points throughout the year, because I think that'll be great to share this sort of whiskey journey with everyone. That's how I see it. It's more or less detailing and sort of video recording the whiskey journey and really just enjoying it with everyone. So it's really great in that sense.
Blogging in video format is exactly what you're doing. And I have to say, I am in your debt. I mean, you've been up here far more times than I've been down south. And when I was down south, when I was in London that time, I was working and I just couldn't get away to hang out with you. So I'm in your debt. I need to come to London to hang out with you as well, because we always get up to some kind of whiskey mischief and it's fun, isn't it?
We always get up to something.
Sorry, buddy. I've just had another virtual dram bought for me. Fantastic, from the guy who you've just met. Obviously, you can tell, just a lovely guy, really passionate about whiskey as well. He's just bought me a virtual dram. Andrew, day dramming, thank you very, very much. You're a gentleman. Okay, Peter White is saying, Peter, superb to have you in. He's saying the Deanston 10 PX cast strength is amazing. I literally am struggling to find a Deanston. Well, apart from, I tried a Deanston some time ago. It was a few years ago, and it was at one of these events in Scotland, and they were giving out free samples, and I tried one, and it was not nice. It was not nice. And it took me a while to get back engaged with Deanston again. And when I did, I was like, oh, okay, that's not what I remember. That's really quite nice. Oh, this is really nice. This is really nice. It just gets nicer and nicer. And to the point that now everything that Deanston is putting out is pretty much, I just don't know how they do it, but I hope they continue to do that. I hope that whoever's making that whiskey at Deanston stays and they can continue to bring the quality the way they are. Because unfortunately, whiskey is quite a transient thing and it can change. And I've just had Laura McGirt has just said to me, love the show, keep up the good work, celebrated the royal wedding with Glenmurray 12. Laura, thank you so much. That's a new name as well. It's brilliant to see you in, and thank you so much for that very generous double virtual dram. I'm very glad to bring a show to you. I hope that it's a decent show. What I want to do is I want to get into the quiz, because I don't want the quiz going late. I'm not going to take up any of the next slot's time. It's the Scotch Test Dummies that's up next. I'm just going to hit the quiz. But first I'm going to reach in and say, Dan E, he says, I was disappointed with the Deanston 12-year-old. Well, Dan, that's probably because you're drinking an older bottling. Pick up a more recent bottling of Deanston 12-year-old and there's just no way you can be disappointed with it. It's such an engaging dram. In fact, I've picked your comment out so that I can put you on a sample bottle. I've written out Dan E. And it might be a Deanston that I send you. I just need to remember, make a wee note on this sticker that it should probably be a Deanston I send you to try and get you back sampling it again. There's a lot of old stock of Deanston out there in the chain, in the supply chain here, there and everywhere. And some of the older stuff I found wasn't so good. But the newer Deanston, the last 3 or 4 years, I would say, is wondrous. Dan, well done. You can pick a sample from my collection. So any of my recent videos, any of the open bottles, any of the stuff I feature on the live tonight, I'll happily send you a wee sample if I can. I know where you are, Dan, and I do know of a way to get stuff out to you. Also, let's try, hey Siri, give me a random number between 0 and 41. 31. So the patron that's grabbing another one here is patron number 31, which is Jill Barker. That's unbelievable. So Jill has already won a bottle of Glencadam 15 from me. I had the pleasure of meeting Jill in Glasgow to give her that bottle, and she's just snagged another wee gift from me. It's not a bottle of Glencadam 15 this time, Jill. It's just a minute or two. But I'm very happy to share this whiskey with you. Again, the same as the other guys, and thank you so much for your patronage and your support. It does mean so much to me. And the days that when I'm really not feeling it, the days that I'm doubting what I'm actually bringing to the whiskey community, it's the support that you guys bring that really makes me want to continue sharing my whiskey in this way. So, well done, Jill. Jason, you give me a thumbs up if you think it's a good time to do the quiz. Jason says yes, with his big smile as well. So the quiz is going to work slightly differently tonight. There's no kind of head-to-head going on, nothing like that. It's a multiple choice quiz. I'm going to give you the questions. I'll ask the questions. I'll give you a second to ponder, and then I'll reveal 3 multiple choice answers. Only one of them is going to be correct, obviously, and then I need you to hit that very, very quickly because I'm not going to allow anyone time to Google if possible. So just get the answer in, get it in as quickly as possible, and I'll be shooting straight on to the next question. What I will ask you to do is keep your own score. It's very important you try and do it as accurately as you can. Don't get too excited. Please try to remember to keep your own score. At the end, share your score with me. Obviously, I'm going to start and say, only share your score if you got 10. And then that way, not everybody's thrown their score in. You can share your scores if you want, but I'll say, if anybody got 10, tell me who that is. And then obviously that will be the winners. In the event of a tie break, I'm just going to go into some distillery data or some such thing. I'll ask certain things in order to have a tie break. But I'll show you what the prizes are. We have Highland Park 18 Mini, back when Highland Park 18 was actually really, really good. We have a Highland Park 15. This is difficult to get your hands on now. There's not much Highland Park 15 around anymore. Certainly I'm talking about the UK. And this is the original Highland Park 30. This is when it first came out. This is the 48.1% ABV expression. So that's the 3 potential quiz prizes. So if there's a clear winner, they get to choose, I guess. But what I thought I might do is if there's a tie, it's very likely there's going to be a tie in the quiz. There's only 10 questions. Is I put them in these little pouches, like labeled A, B, C, and you can, Gregor saying got 10 wrong, and you can choose A, B, or C, and it would go down that way. Let's just play it by ear. Remember, this is for fun, and I am trusting you to keep your own scores. But of course, I'll be able to go back through the live chat replay and double check to make sure that indeed a 10 was 10 out of 10 and things like that. And if there's late questions, if there's things coming in late after it's been answered and stuff, well, you know, we might choose to work out something different with the prizes. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go on with the quiz, and then at the end, towards the end of the show after the quiz, there is another guest who's been patiently waiting in the wings. He has been on before, but I'd like him to come in tonight again as well towards the end of the show, share what he's drinking, where he is, say hello to us just before the handover. It's been mentioned to me recently that this glass is as big as to be a flower vase. Somebody said, I can't remember who mentioned it. And I was out last night. I was out with some friends, and we were in having a whiskey tasting in town, and afterwards, and somebody mentioned that to me in the pub. They said, when you're doing your lives, you know, that glass, what size is that glass? Well, this is just a pint glass. See, if I hold it back here, it doesn't look that big, does it? But I think when I'm holding it out here like this, it looks like a big, massive thing. But it's just a pint. And obviously a pint of water as well. So let's get on with this quiz. Let's keep it fast, rapid fire. And I just need to pull in the quiz, of course. Now, I didn't get a chance to set this up earlier, but it should be quite quick for me to do it. Are you all up for the quiz? Do you actually want to do the quiz? There's prizes this time, so it changes it. It's not going to be prizes generally. There was a feedback from me to keep it prize free, just keep it fun, and I understand that completely. I think it's the right thing. I think it's a good idea. But for tonight, for World Whisky Day, I thought it'd be fun just to do some prizes and have a bit of fun with it. So let's see if I can join here. Superb. Bring in this. Apologies. Quite a dull part. I should have Jason speaking to you while I do this, but it's almost done. We're almost in. Share the application window. There it is there. Superb. We have a quiz. Okay, Jason, do you want to ready the troops?
All right, I'm going to get everything ready with the question time, and so we're going to get started with the quiz. Good luck, everyone. This is going to be fun.
Well, we hope so, right? Let's show and broadcast. And let's just go to that window. Superb. I hope this is going to start working now. So if I click here, superb. So here we are, question 1. Now remember, I'm not going to give you time to Google these, but I'm going to ask you, the Loch Lomond Master Distiller is, all I need from you is an A, B, or C. So you can choose between the Loch Lomond Master Distiller being Michael Henry, Henry MacArthur, or Arthur Michaels. Answer A, B, or C as fast as you can. As soon as I see the answers pouring in, I'm going to skip to the next question. So the Loch Lomond Master Distiller is A, Michael Henry, B, Henry MacArthur, or C, Arthur Michaels. Who do you think it is? It's all pouring in. Remember, you're keeping your own scores, so grab something and keep a score, and make sure that we're all being upfront about this. Okay, let's give you the answer for this one. There's still lots pouring in, slight delay, so the Loch Lomond Master Distiller is, I'm going to give you the answer now, Michael Henry. Superb. Michael Henry is the Loch Lomond Master Distiller. Okay, so the correct answer for that was A. Anybody that's put in A, give yourself a point and keep score, please. Jason's giving me 2 thumbs up. Are you playing? Are you actually in the quiz? he's playing along.
It is a bit sneaky for me, but I do know most of these answers. Because
honestly,
I saw Danny said to me, he goes, straight away, the first thing that he wrote there was like Jason, the Master Distiller. I was like, yes, it's me. I actually met the Master Distiller. That's why I know it.
Okay, superb. So the thing is that you don't know any of these questions. You don't, obviously, if you
I have no idea.
But it's absolutely fair for you to participate as well. Of course it is. Of course it is. Superb. Let's hit question number 2. Okay. Question 2 is Distillery Moesline, and I know I'm going to be pronouncing that wrong, is located in Distillery Moesline. Okay. Now some of these are bizarre, but remember that there's a 33% chance of you getting this right. Do not be Googling it because it's going to come up now. Is this in Austria? A, B, Germany, C, Switzerland? Distillery Moesline is in A, Austria, B, Germany, C, Switzerland. So get your answers in as quickly as possible. A, B, or C. Ooh, all the answers are pouring in. Just going to give you a couple more seconds, and then I'm going to cut this and go to the next one. Okay, and I'll call time on that. Fantastic. Distillery Moesline is located in Germany. So the answer was B. Anybody that's answered B, give yourself a point and a pat on the back. Remember to be completely honest about this. This is just for fun, and I know that there's a prize at stake here, but just be kind of honest and straight and say, well, I knew that. Yeah, I'll take that. Or I guessed it right. Or I didn't know that and I guessed it wrong. Give yourself a point if you said B. Superb. Jason doesn't look so confident. Oh no, he did. He answered B as well. He's on full marks. He's giving me the thumbs up.
The only reason I got this right is because when I was in Germany, I saw this the double dots over the O, and I was thinking when I saw that, I was like, it's either Austria or it's Germany.
Good guess.
So it was guessing, and it was just like cancellation. I was thinking because I go to Germany at least twice a year, I was like, I kind of just have to push towards that way. So I was like.
Superb.
One of those things.
Buddy. Let's get on and do question 3 quickly. This is an easier one. I think this is a bit of a giveaway one. The Isle of Arran distillery features what on its logo? What does the Isle of Arran distillery have on its logo? Is it A, birds of prey, B, woodland birds, C, water birds? So there you go. A, birds of prey, B, woodland birds, or C, water birds on the Isle of Arran distillery. I actually have a bottle around here, I think. Yes, I do. I have it here, so I can share that with you afterwards. While I'm looking for it. Oh, there it's there. So give us that in, and I can. Lots of it pouring in. Lots and lots of people participating. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Just everyone kind of having fun with it. Greg is saying, okay, I see him in a 3 to 5 minute. Okay, so forget about the quiz, never mind. If there's a delay, Greg, sometimes that happens. I know that Hoy often has problems, and some people just the lag is too much, especially tonight because it's quick fire tonight. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one after I share with you that the Isle of Arran features birds of prey. They feature birds of prey, and the logo, I'll try and show you that here. It's not very clear, actually. There's on the cork at the top there, you just see 2 little birds of prey. I think they're eagles, actually. But you see embossed in the glass here, you see Isle of Arran with the eagles there. So it's birds of prey. So if you answered A, give yourself a pat in the back and a point as we go into question 4. People are all over the place with these. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Mellow corn, here we go, I've just been sipping it. Mellow corn, straight corn whiskey is produced at. So it's, again, where is this produced? Is it produced at A, Buffalo Trace, B, MGP of Indiana, or C, Heaven Hill? Where is mellow corn? A, Buffalo Trace, B, MGP of Indiana, or C, Heaven Hill? Where is mellow corn produced? This is the thing I was sipping earlier. This is $10 in the States, and here it's 30 quid or more, £35, which is closer to $50 or so or more. Loads and loads of people. Everybody seems to be thinking it's C. Can't even remember what C is. Let's go on quickly before anybody's hitting the Google. But mellow corn, straight corn whiskey is produced at C, Heaven Hill. So lots of people. Jason is cheering. He's giving it fist pumps. He's practically doing laps of his studio.
The one I did, I was like that, yeah, because I was like, I know Buffalo Trace stuff very well. I don't know MGP that well. And Heaven Hill, I just met some of the people at the cognac show here in London, and I was thinking, mellow corn, because you mentioned the price. One of the guys in the shops here in London, he goes to me, it's £35 on the shop, and when you go to America, it's $8 or $12, and he goes to me, Jason, just buy it when you're in America. And I was like, that just makes sense because I'm saving a lot more money. So it's one of those things I was going to look out for when I'm actually heading to the States. That's right. I mean, it's just, I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can so to avoid people kind of doing the Google thing, but I'm sure people aren't Googling. I wonder how the scores are because we're just heading into the halfway point. I've got another 25 minutes to go, so I'm going to try and cut it off a few minutes before, so we're sitting about 20 minutes, so we need to cut through this. I need to get my guest in, do a finish up as well, and just see how we're going. So let's get into this next question. Question 5. 8 balls of malt to Friar John Corr, wherewith to make Aqvavitae. Now, this is the first ever recorded mention of whiskey in Scotland. This is the famous King James IV, I think it was, King James IV, ordering malt to be sent to Friar John Corr in order for him to make whiskey, even though it was illegal. King James was a fan of it, so he was ordering enough malt to make about 1,500 bottles of whiskey. So I'm going to ask the question, which year was that? Was that in 1394? A. B, 1424. C, 1494. So there we go. This is the first ever recorded or written record of whiskey in Scotland. What year was that? Was it 1394, 1424, or 1494? But everything's pouring in. Santa Cruzans bought me a virtual dram. Okay, ready to start the pouring finally. Superb, Chris. Thank you very, very much for that. Sorry that you're joining the quiz a little bit late, and it's not the type of quiz that you can participate so easily on the replay. But I will put a link in for this quiz if you want to have some fun and download it and do it by yourself after or with some friends or something like that. But here's the answer to this one. C, 1494. So if you answered the 8 balls of malt, written instruction to Friar John Corr was in 1494, give yourself a point and a pat in the back. Superb. And we'll go on to rapid fire question number 6.
Nonsense Whisky saying, I just read this as well and I can't remember. Unlucky buddy. Which country drinks the most blended Scotch? Which country drinks the most blended Scotch? Now be careful here. You have to look at how this is worded. Drinks the most blended Scotch, okay? So we're looking for the country that drinks the most blends. Superb. Is it A, India? Is it B, France? Or C, USA? Which country drinks the most blended Scotch? A, India, B, France, or C, USA? Go, let's get them in. Let's get the answers rolling. Just don't be Googling. Just get it in. Oh, Jason's covering his face here. He's looking, he's wondering what have you answered. He said A. He said A. Lots and lots of people think A. Let's go back in and see which country drinks the most blended Scotch. It is, in fact, France. Wow, he's gutted. He's fallen to the floor. He's so upset. Now, here's the thing about this. This is a fantastic fact because the number 2 position in this chart is the USA. And the column looks like this for France, and the number 2 is just above half. The French drink so much blended Scotch, it is absolutely frightening how much they get through. It's quite an amazing statistic. So there you go. France is responsible for drinking the most blended Scotch. Which I think quickly. So if you said France, by the way, was B. So if you said B, give yourself a point. You guessed France correctly. But I'm going to guess that a lot of people would have said India, like you did, Jason, right?
Yeah. So basically, in India, this is one thing that me and Jez were talking about this the other day. So in India, you get this is how the whiskeys are. They got Antiquity Blue, and I'm going to be covering Indian whiskeys on the channel. But in India, they actually mix it with rum. It's mixed with molasses, and that doesn't make it a whiskey anymore. And I just realized that after I put in my answer, and I was like, God damn it, Jason, that was a rookie mistake.
If you look at how the question was worded, I was asking for blended Scotch.
I know.
Absolutely, superb. So let's go on to this. This is a really cool question 7 now, okay? Which of these countries consumes the most malt Scotch? Completely different thing. So the last one was which country was drinking the most blended Scotch, and this we're talking about malt Scotch this time, so it's a different thing, okay? And the 3 answers are potentially A, Taiwan, B, UK, or C, France. A, Taiwan, B, the United Kingdom, or C, France. Taiwan, UK, or France. Which of those 3 drinks the most malt Scotch? Quite an amazing thing. Okay, let's all the answers are coming in. Lots of people all over the place. Answers are all over the place as well. Lots of people answering all over. So, which of these countries consumes the most malt Scotch? The answer is C, France. Quite unbelievable. Jason's answered France, and he's very, very happy about that. So this is amazing. The French drink the most blended Scotch, and they're actually number 2 for the most malt Scotch. The USA drink more, but the USA wasn't an option there. So France is number 2 for malt Scotch as well. It's quite amazing, and we just need to say thank you to the France. I guess it would be merci beaucoup. Thank you for buying so much of their product. It's quite amazing how much they get through. Okay, moving on to question 8, fast as we can. Which closed distillery, so I'm going to give you a list of 3 closed distilleries here. Which closed distillery was not in Dufton? Which closed distillery was not in Dufton? So there are silent distilleries all up and down the country. I'm going to give you a list of 3 silent distilleries, and all I want you to tell me is which one of these closed distilleries wasn't in the what's self-proclaimed capital of Scotch whisky, Dufton. Here they are. A, Glenvore Distillery. B, Convalmore Distillery. C, Parkmore Distillery. One of those was not in Dufton. One of those was located somewhere else. A, Glenvore Distillery. B, Convalmore Distillery. Or C, Parkmore Distillery. Let's see what you've got. I'm going to have such fun reading all these comments back tomorrow or whenever we've got time to do it. I'm obviously excited to join the dummies straight afterwards. So it's going to be late into the night. I'll be watching lives, and it'll be tomorrow before I get to watch all of these comments going back. There's Greg saying, you're welcome. He's Greg out there in France. Thank you very much. Superb. Okay, let's give you the answer to this quickly. The answer is Glenvore. Glenvore is not in Dufton. Jason's giving his fist pump again. He's very happy. He's always excited. Not only does he know that that wasn't in Dufton, but he's actually tasted. We've actually shared Glenvore together, haven't we, Jason?
Yeah, so one thing that me and Roy did when we met in Glasgow last time is I saw a bottle of Convermore at a bar, and Roy saw the Glenmore, and together we both bought a dram. And I remember Convermore is actually now been, it used to be Diageo run, now it's used by William Grant's because they use it as a warehouse nowadays. So it's kind of interesting, but they are still in Dufftown. So yeah, that's why I remembered.
Glenvore was one of the trifecta of Inverness distilleries, along with Glenalbyn and Milburn. And I think Glenvore now, unfortunately, is a Tesco or a supermarket or something like that. So that's long gone, and it's not going to be one of these distilleries that's going to be brought to back ever again, I don't think. Okay, superb. So Glenvore was the answer. If you answered A for Glenvore, give yourself a point and a pat in the back. As we move into second last question, question number 9. Which of these is not a whiskey YouTube channel? You know, I always like to throw in a whiskey YouTube thing. I just like to have a bit of fun with that. It doesn't have to be serious, right? Which of these is not a real whiskey YouTube channel? Bear in mind, there's about 90 to 100 YouTube channels, more than 100 now probably, English-speaking YouTube whiskey channels, and it's growing all the time. So let's see. A, the Whiskey Father. B, the Whiskey Woman. C, the Whiskey Bloke. A, the Whiskey Father. B, the Whiskey Woman. Or C, the Whiskey Bloke. One of those is not, as far as I could find anyway, and I searched and I searched, one of those is not a whiskey YouTube channel. I think this is a bit of a giveaway for a lot of the crowd that's in here tonight, but I'm going to give you the answer real quickly, so you don't go banging your keyboard looking for YouTube whiskey channels. The one that is not a whiskey YouTube channel is, in fact, A, the Whiskey Father. The Whiskey Woman is a friend of mine, Roddy from the club, and the Whiskey Woman herself is also from our whiskey club. And those two guys, the two guys, work together, Katrina and Roddy, and they've just started to do whiskey reviews together. They're not taking it very seriously. They're having fun with it. Very, very Scottish flavour to it. Good fun. The Springbank 12 cast strength reviews, great fun. And the other one, Whiskey Bloke, he was on earlier tonight, of course. He was on in the end with Finn, was supposed to be slotted to go on with Whiskey Whistle. And he has doing some really quite different take on whiskey reviews. Again, not taking himself too seriously at all, but the guy clearly takes his whiskey seriously. And watch out for the pugs. Very cool cameo appearances from pugs. Fantastic. George Kaplan, my friend, thank you very, very much. Just sending across a virtual dram. You're a superstar, and all he's put an A. He's put an A. You got it absolutely right as well, George. Thank you for your generosity. You and Amy are stars. Thank you so much. I'm just going to go on to a very last question. So if you answered A for that, give yourself a point and a pat in the back. And we go on to question 10, inspired by Andrew Daydreaming. Which of these are not? Well, sorry. Which of these is not Tasmanian? Apologies for the grammar there. Which of these distilleries is not from Tasmania? Okay, so I'm looking for, we were talking about Australian distilleries and Tasmanian distilleries. Tasmania is that island just further south. I always think when I see a picture of Tasmania, it's kind of bizarre. It looks like I'm looking at Scotland, but there's something just not quite right about it. It looks ever so slightly different. But I'm asking which of these is not Tasmanian specifically? Starward Distillery, Lark Distillery, or Sullivan's Cove Distillery? Tell me which of those is not Tasmanian. All pouring in. Tom is saying, I love Lark. I've never tried it, Tom. I would love to know what it's actually like. I've yet to try. Maybe I have tried an Australian, but I don't have a recollection of it. This Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is just such a stunning, stunning, powerful whiskey. Okay, let's give you the answer of the last question. The one that's not Tasmanian is in fact Starward Distillery. Starward is from the Australian mainland. And the other two, Lark and Sullivan's Cove, are in fact Tasmanian. So there you go. Greg is saying 10 easy. Is that right, Greg? Or did you have a genuine delay? Did you score 10? So listen, that's the quiz over. Give yourself a pat in the back if you answered A for Starward there, and give yourself a point. But be honest with me. Did anybody score 10? If you scored 10 out of 10, I need you to make it known right now. And I need you to not only have scored 10, but have registered an answer for all 10. Because I'll obviously go back and be able to verify after the event to see if anybody. Malt Chronicles got 8, a fantastic score. Sean got 9 out of 10. Are you kidding, Sean? Fantastic. My wife is in tonight. She scored 4 out of 10. My wife is superb. Louis Ochoa, 5. Jason got 9. Well done. Superb. Whiskey Biker, 8, 8, 8. So is there any 10 out of 10? Go Habs. Genuinely go Habs. 10 minus 10 equals 0. Okay. Okay, I get you. So it looks like 9 out of 10. Jason, I need your help here. Can you find how many 9 out of 10s do we have, or have you spotted any 10 out of 10s, my friend? What are we seeing?
So at the minute, I'm just looking through the list. I'm getting loads of sort of things that are between 7 and 8. There's 2 9 out of 10s. Lots of things also coming in right now.
Can I ask you to scour through, find out what you come up with, and I'll bring in our guest.
All right, let's do that.
And that'll give us, because I've literally got 10 minutes left. My guest has been waiting quietly in the background. Jason, thank you very much for helping me out. And I'll bring him in now. If you can unmute yourself, guest, and we can say hello. I know you've been on before, but it's super cool to actually have you join again. And apologies that it's only for a couple of minutes. There you are, buddy. How are you? Tell us who you are.
I'm good, everybody. Welsh Toro here.
Hey, Welsh. Good to see you again, buddy.
Good to be back.
Superb, superb. I've noticed that you've been commenting as well on it. You're saying, Jesus Roy, you're going to check, you rock. Yes, I'm going to go back and I'm going to check. Tell me, Welsh, how did you get on in the quiz tonight? How did you do?
I think I got about 7 out of 10.
Not bad, not bad. A decent pass mark.
Yeah, average pass.
Do you think it worked? Do you think the format worked? Do you think that
it was a good one tonight? It was a good one.
Good, good. Tell me, where are you in the world? What are you drinking for World Whisky Day, and why?
Okay, I am in the world in Birmingham. I am drinking. If I can find the bottle.
Wow.
I am drinking the North Star Islay Malt. It's an independent bottle, 10 years old. We don't know where it's from, but we suspect it's from Lagavulin. And this is a 10-year-old cask strength single barrel with a wine finish.
Superb. It's North Star are a Glaswegian company. They're actually
In fact, here it is. That's the bottle.
Superb. Are you enjoying it?
Very nice, thank you.
Now, people might be asking why I've chosen Welsh Toro, because if I'm talking about World Whisky Day and I'm going out with people all over the world, well, I consider Welsh Toro to be one of the most international guys I've got on. But the first thing is I didn't ever know if the guy was Spanish or Welsh at the start. But what it turns out is that he's Welsh, he's living in England, and you've got a Spanish wife. Is that correct?
That's absolutely true, yes. A bit international, been around a little bit. But that's right, yes. I enjoy it. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I consider you international.
Yes, I suppose I am.
And certainly you're in I guess, a different, politically you're in the same country as me, but I guess culturally actually we're very close. It's difficult to divide, but yes, I'm in Scotland and you're in England. So I wanted to reach down south and work out what you were getting up to and what you were drinking as well. Tell me, Welsh, it's wonderful to see you joining in. I think that you must probably deserve the award for one of the most prolific contributors to all our channels and all our feeds. You get everywhere you consume a hell of a lot of whiskey content. I think you really enjoy the YouTube whiskey community.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I was there last night until quite late. I had to work this morning as well. Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I've recently, I thought that I might bring in some stuff today. Just a brief mention behind me. Yes, I
noticed there's a remarkable amount of those that are sealed Welsh. Are you a hoarder?
I think I just buy more than I can actually consume at one time. You know, you get 2 instead of 1, and there's a few there. I'm not a hoarder. I don't intend to flip it. It will all be drunk with myself or good company.
Superb, superb. Welsh, do me a favour. I'm going to reach down and look into the comments, and I've got a comment from Tony Shehead, or Chehead. I don't know how to pronounce your surname, Tony. You're saying, and a good bloke too. I hope you're talking about a friend Welsh. I'm going to put Tony Shehead on this label. You've got a sample coming towards you, Tony. I've just picked you out the comments. You're the most recent one when I look down. Welsh, can you give me a random number, please, between 0 and 42?
Ooh, okay. 27.
27. So my friend Welsh Toro has picked out one of my patrons to receive a gift from me, and number 27 is Philip Lloyd. Philip, fantastic. You star. I know that you're one of my evangelist patron supporters. It's fantastic to have your support, and it's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure for me to be able to send you something from my collection, a gift from my collection. So if you get in touch with me, Philip, if you ever watch this, I hope you do watch this, and I'll be able to message you through Patreon, and you'll be able to choose something nice so that I can share a dram with you, Philip. Thank you very much, and thank you for that, Welsh. Tell me, Welsh, are you planning on sitting up through the night and catching the streams going on to the small hours?
I probably am. I think I'll probably be until quite late. I'm really glad that it's Quig right at the end, because we can all have a little bit of kip and then catch Quig at the end. So
that's right. Go to sleep and come back knowing that Quig will still be there, and we can enjoy our breakfast while Quig's coming.
But Quig is starting late. You know, I mean, normally he starts at 2 o'clock, and we can still get him at 9 o'clock.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. Are you enjoying this? Do you think this is a fun thing to be doing?
That's very fun. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yes, I love seeing everybody, and I think this is a great thing. The World Whisky Day.
It is. It's just that extra bit of impetus, that extra bit of inspiration for us to actually try and organise something. And this is a great thing that demonstrates not only the collaboration between the Whisky Tubers and the Whisky Tube community, but the Whisky community building on YouTube, the fact that everybody's getting together. There's been a big crowd in here tonight. I hope they've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, just make sure that you've given me a wee thumbs up as well. Welsh, I think you'll join me in shouting out a few channels that we both enjoyed together that haven't been able to fit in the short amount of time that we had overnight tonight. I mentioned them earlier, and I want to mention them again tonight. It's Blind Whisky Reviews, John, Whisky Neighbour out there in Canada as well, My Bourbon Journey, Scott, Whisky Wednesday, Phil, Maltman Mike, Top Whiskies, The Whisky Couch, The Whisky Woman in Glasgow, Ryan Bennick's Whisky World, Telex, The Whisky Tech, Scotch for Dummies. We really tried hard to get the 4 dummies on, but these are 4 guys with families and busy lives and things, and they're all kind of shooting all over the place, and they just could not get it together. It's a shame, but we'll try and do it with a bit more notice next time, in the hope that we can have our friends from the Scotch for Dummies on as well. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Ralphie and the guys in Texas as well. That's the Whisky Vault and the Whisky Tribe as well. Although that they kind of keep themselves a bit more independent, they're still bringing it. They're still creating lots of fantastic whisky content that helps us build this community on YouTube. Would you agree, my friend Welsh Toro?
Absolutely, yes. They're all top guys. I really enjoy the old guys, but quite a lot of new stuff coming along. And I think it's good that we support them. Sometimes I catch them after they've done 10, 20, 30 vlogs, and I've no idea about them, and then something pops up on YouTube, and I join them.
They just appear. And of course, as Whisky Tubers, we like to promote the new channels that are bringing something cool an original as well. We helped it. We try to kind of bring them along and kind of help them out. We like to, it's the whiskey that does that, isn't it? That sense of collaboration. That's fantastic. Anybody, I'm going to raise this glass. This is the last of my Canadian Club 40-year-old. I know it looks like Mountain Dew, but everything I'm drinking tonight looks bright green. And I'm going to raise a glass to you, Welsh, and I'm going to thank you for the support, not just in my channel, but to all the whiskey channels that you put out there, and so many of our friends as well that are commenting as prolifically as you as well. It's fantastic to have your support and your contribution in the chat. Thank you, my friend, and Sláinte mhath.
Pleasure, and cheers to you and everybody else in the chat as well. I love them.
Thank you very much. Superb, superb, buddy. Speak to you on the next stream.
Okay, take care.
Superb. Okay, I'm just about to wrap this up. I'm just about to hand over to my friends in Kansas, the Scotch Dummies channel, and they're hosting Drinking Caveman, who you may know as Charles from Whiskey Untitled. Looking forward to that, relaxing, just having a dram and participating. Jason, thank you so much for your support again tonight.
Thank you very much, Roy, for having me. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being absolutely amazing. I want to say a quick shout out to Danny as well, because he kept saying every few minutes, every time actually when you put a question, Roy, Danny would put the answer as Jason. So I think that deserves something.
Who won the quiz? Quickly, who won?
I went through it, and it looks like the highest score was a 9. But I'm going to go run through it later on after we've gone offline, and that way we can evaluate.
If we have a tie break, then what we have to do is use the little ABCD bags, because there was 2 9s, wasn't there, right?
Yes, there was 3 9s actually. I went through a few a little bit.
Okay. So I tell you what we'll do then. These will go in an ABCD bag, and the next live that I put out, the next week's on Thursday night. I'm doing a patron only live next week. So next Thursday is patrons only. But my regular scheduled live will be the last day of the month. I think the 31st, Thursday the 31st, will be my regular live. And that night we'll draw the quiz. I'll have worked out who the 3 9s were. If you've got a claim on the quiz prize, send me an email, whisky@aqvavitae.com, and I'll draw the quiz prize from tonight on that live show at the end of the month. Thanks everybody for your support. I just want to mention as well that I will be happy to send a token, a gift, along to anybody who can claim that they put a valid and a positive chat, mention in a chat in every single stream tonight. So if you've been a journeyman, if you've gone all the way and gone through all the streams, I'll send you something. Jason, I hope you can join me in raising a glass to say Happy World Whisky Day to everybody, because we now pass the baton across the Atlantic to our North American friends. Cheers, Jason. Thank you very much. Happy World Whisky Day.
Thank you very much, everyone. And also want to say Happy World Whisky Day to everyone as well. Hope you have a great one. Sláinte.
Superb, everybody. And I'm passing this virtual dram over to our friends in Kansas, the Scotch Dummies.